Got to open with my cat. So I've watched two animes in my life, which I feel like is relevant for this album. Okay, I've seen Neon Genesis Evangelion, and I kind of hated it. And then I've seen the first 5 seasons of JoJo's Bizarre Adventure. I know that there's anime references on this album. I don't know them. So let's talk about Meowmento Mori by Kittens LOL. This is an album. This band reached out to me personally because they are too small to touch my radar or many of our radar, and I'm honestly really glad that they did because I found this album very entertaining and very interesting. So I want to talk about it a little bit. So if you go to Kittens LOL's like Bandcamp page or Spotify page, they mark themselves as Disney princess plus anime plus old Vans, like the shoes, plus the internet. And I think that actually sonically encompasses their sound pretty well in like a vibe sense. If we're talking about conventional genres, as I'm more likely to say, I'd call it like it's a bunch of different types of pop. We got synth pop, power pop, hyper pop, and most notably for me, city pop. City pop, that's the sound of Cassiopeia, my favorite. The sound of the Mario Kart 8 racing soundtrack, you know, with the insanely fast drums, the soaring saxophones, and so on. It bears its head throughout this project here. So, Memento Mori, I mean, I had to at least give it a try when I saw that album title. It's only 25 minutes long as well. I'll bring that up again. Which made a quick brisk listening to. So, the album opens with a song called Yandere 2.0. I'm familiar with the term tsundere. I remember knowing that that's what Carly Rae Jepsen is. But this song got to teach me what a yandere is, so that's something I get to tell my wife about when she comes home. We'll see what she thinks about that. Regardless, Yandere 2.0 opens and it sounds like a Disney song at the beginning. Like it's clearly trying to evoke that feel. But it starts with Disney, and then some slap bass comes in, right? And then the city pop soaring guitar that you would hear on a Cassiopeia record. I'm going to be putting Cassiopeia up there. I know it's a different record, but you got to listen to Cassiopeia. Like that, the Yamaha overdriven guitar sound comes in, and then there's like the sick syncopated 16th note drum fill, and you realize like, oh yeah, they're cooking with a number of different sounds here. So and then so in the same verse structure later in the song, where they go back to the opening verse of the song that was in like the Disney kind of tone. And the next time they go through it, while the verse is being sung, they switch into like a pop punk kind of sound at the same time. So it also sets you up for the genre jumping within the songs that you can get, which I know some people might get tired of all the genre jumping, but I love it because it means that I never know where a song is going. If a song starts throwing haymakers at me at 45 seconds in and I see it's 5 minutes long, I don't know where it's going to go. So this song, jump from Disney city pop, it's setting me up. A bunch of sounds I'm familiar with and sounds that I like, throw them around. It intrigued me to keep going. So next song, of course, the aptly mentioned for the album and album cover, which I'm sure I put up at some point. Meow. Meow is a dancey synth pop track. It's a fun storyline of like love and revenge, and it ties well into the theming of the album. Like every song on this, when you're listening to it, you'll like look at the album cover again and you'll be like, yeah, I kind of get it now. My favorite line, if we're talking about the revenge, off of Meow is, I wish you had 9 lives so I could kill you. You know, that's fair. You would really send a message, too. And if you have 9 lives, just don't. If it's 9 lives, like old age, that just cuts all of your lives, right? So, like, if I killed you once, just don't die 8 more times before you die of old age. Or, like, if you are a cat and you reach old age, you get to just re-up it. I don't know. These are the important questions. I'm the wrong person to ask. My favorite part about Meow in particular was there's a guitar solo in the center that features a wah pedal. It's not heavily used, the wah pedal, but the way that it is used with a little bit of distortion, it turns the guitar into this. It has this perfect tone, this perfect wail to it. There were moments. The classic moment for hair standing on the back of your neck is if you know the song "Gimme Shelter" by the Rolling Stones. There's a backup singer that does like a scream where she comes in, and it's just like there's something in the human DNA that makes you react to it. There's a moment at the end of the guitar solo here where, I mean, I'm a guitar. I listen to a lot of guitar music, but just the way that it sounded, it was just like that. That's a perfect guitar tone. It's a fantastic solo at the end of Meow off of Meowmento Mori. I'm definitely gonna go back to it just so I can try to piece together what was going on that. After Meow, we go to Walk Through Hell. Walk Through Hell to me seems like the pop hit of the album. It has the least amount of shenanigans. It's the most consistent throughout. It's got some like hyper pop elements thrown in at the end, where it's like production mix-ups and such. These happen throughout the album, but this one is the most like, it feels most hyper pop-y, where it's like trying to evoke hyper pop. Main thing for Walk Through Hell, this is like, think about like a pop punk kind of song. This is the one where I knew that the bass, whoever played bass on this, I know it's a duo out of LA. Whoever played bass on it plays it better than I do. I'm self-taught, but I've got work to do, and hearing it in a pop punk setting like that, like the quick I think slap bass lines, I was like, I got something to practice. So Walk Through Hell is a fun song if you're just looking for like the standard pop song that's not too weird on it. That's a good one to go for. Some of the songs, like if you're just like, I don't want to turn on a song, or someone said I would murder you if you were a cat. Like this one's Walk Through Hell is talking about like going, the efforts the narrator would go through for their crush, right? So it's cute. Nobody's gonna be upset at you, but for playing that one, I don't know what I'm talking about. That's the problem with doing it all in one take. Okay, after that we go into Be Enough. Be Enough is the soft piano ballad of the brisk 25-minute long album. The vocals on this album they're very delicate and slightly auto-tuned. So this album, sometimes the vocals are played through normally, sometimes they're auto-tuned, sometimes the vocals are run through a little bit of a distortion pedal. The year is 2024. We've got wall of sound techniques. We love distorted voices now, and all throughout Memento Mori, that is the name of it. I'm so afraid that I'm gonna mess it up. Memento Mori. All throughout this, the voice is it could be affected with auto-tune, distortion, pitched in a way that makes it compelling because it's used to enhance the song whenever it is. So these delicate, slightly auto-tuned vocals on a song where the narrator is just hoping that she could be enough for her crush or significant other. I can't remember exactly. It makes it actually very touching because it sounds more delicate than it would if it were just the raw vocals, to me personally, because the singer's very strong, and her voice, you can tell that she knows what she's doing. The little bit of autotune adds a little bit of spice to it, and so this song, like Be Enough, it's obviously got a sad tone to it, but it has a really strong feeling of hope, and at this point in the album, a number of these songs I realized have given me feelings of hope, even though like the themes don't necessarily tie to it or something. It's something about the upbeat, energetic feel of synth pop music, I guess, that can just inspire a feeling of hope. And maybe seeing some happy cats kissing on the cover, that's also part of it. So then after that, we've got Date at the Drive-In. This song is the song for anime Tony Hawk's Pro Skater. Tony Hawk's Anime Pro Skater. Tony Hawk's Pro Skater Anime Edition. It's very skate punk, but then we got more genre jumping, right? We switched to piano rock for a little bit. We got some like EDM drum sounds like from a synthesizer that I wish I could name. I don't know that space well enough thrown in here. It's just like a blistering roller coaster of linked parts where even though it's only 2 minutes long, 25 seconds in, I was like, I don't know where this is going. But it's got the fast upbeat tempo and like everything else on this album, the grooves. So I was excited to see where it went, and I'm happy for it. 2-minute journey. I went back to listen to this one again after the album ended too. I was like, it's only 2 minutes long. I want to hear what they did again. I know that I skipped one song. I'm coming back to it now. We've got Light and Virtual Cicadas are two songs on here that are like more like spoken word poetry over top of pretty compelling musical soundscapes, I'll have to admit. But I've never watched a filler season of anime, and I never will. I'm an all gas, no brakes type of boy. So even though it was cool to hear the where the soundscapes went, I don't know if I'll be listening to these two in particular again. But Virtual Cicadas in particular, the second half of it opens up into like an expansive instrumental atmosphere. Right, it reminded me of an album called Takosubo by L'Imperatrice, some French name. Where it was, I might actually listen to the second half of this song. If you could cut it in half, I might listen to the second half when I'm going through the album again, because it's, I mean, instrumentally this album is very creative. They're clearly very talented and know what they're doing when they're creating these soundscapes. Then we get to the closer, which is the first song that I listened to when Kittens LOL reached out to me, just so I could see. I thought if it were bad, seeing the song named Sorry would have just been really funny to just like listen to the song named Sorry and be like, sorry, no, and then be gone. But I really like this closing song, Sorry. It almost tricked me. I was just like, oh, it's got like an anime soundscape, a little bit of a spoken word opening, but then the distorted guitar comes in, shows that it has interesting harmony. In the middle of the song, it has a rhythmic switch up, where we're going from fast to like a little bit of halftime. In the halftime area, it's slowed, it's slowed down. It's more open than a lot of the rest of the album, and it sounds like a end credit anime song to me. Like with like the slow roll, and like there's some people looking at the moon. That I can imagine Sorry playing in the background of that as well. I mean, honestly, yeah, I really like Sorry. I'm trying to think of what my favorite song would be. It's probably, Sorry or Date at the Drive-In would be my two favorites off of this. But as a whole, like as mentioned, it's only 25 minutes long, so it's really easy to briskly run through. If I skip those two songs, there's songs by King Gizzard and the Lizard Wizard that are shorter than this project. So it's and I'm going to be bumping through it a couple times, like as time goes on. Despite the sonic diversity through the track list, the album is like sonically and thematically consistent. Even though the genres are jumping, the harmony underlying it all, it still ties together, and it all still feels like the same song. And that's particularly driven, by the consistent vocal performances and the lyricism that ties it all together. And just every song grooves, and the groove sticks throughout. The grooves and some of the cool sonic moments, they stick with me after the album ended too. So, I mean that's probably that's 13 minutes. That's too many thoughts. I'm sorry about giving you too many thoughts about the album. Meowmento Mori by Kittens LOL. But I honestly recommend it. Give it one listen. You're gonna have a fun time with it. I don't think that you'll be disappointed. So, have a great day. You all deserve it, and I'll talk to you next time.